Some common pad holding mistakes actually starts right from how you put your pads on. You'll notice that with my pads, I keep them fairly loose because I like to do different things with my students. You don't want to have your pads too tight because it restricts a lot of the options that you have. Also, you always want to hold with an overhand grip. I've actually seen a lot of people slide their thumbs under, and you limit your mobility in your wrists and your elbows. So if someone's kicking really hard, you can actually really jam your hands. And the worst thing I think I've ever seen with these pads is people sliding their fingers underneath, because you're not going to have much support for yourself when you hold a pad like that. Having it loose is more personal preference, but again, it gives me more options to play with. Hands over the grip, and again, I mentioned it before, when I'm holding pads, I'm never just a punching bag. I'm engaged with my student, giving them the most realistic target as possible. Another very common mistake that a lot of pad holders do is they try to do too much for their partner. So when their partner is throwing, they want that smack and they want their partner to hit hard, so they really jam that punch in. That's really not a good habit to get into, because your training partner is now all of a sudden going to be throwing jam punches. They're not going to be able to extend their jabs, extend their crosses, and basically you're almost doing more work than them. And the opposite of that, again, I think I mentioned it before as well, are noodle arms. Right? The worst thing to do is have your pads up and there's nothing behind them. You're actually more prone to getting injured when you're not engaged with your training partner. And they might hyperextend their elbow on every punch that they throw because you're giving them air to hit. You want to give a nice solid target for your partner. Okay? Don't be afraid. What you'll learn as a pad holder is if you trust your technique, it works out for you in the long run. A lot of people don't like to take a teep, so when a teep comes, they start moving their stomach out of the way already. And again, your training partner will not learn how to feel to take a proper teep, and when you spar, the first time you get teep properly, you're going to be in a whole new world because you don't know how to engage to take that teep. So remember, work with your partner and fully engage. Don't put yourself in a I can't wait for it's my turn kind of mentality.